Hello Targar friends. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another Orc Mode workout, and we got number 7 on the random number generator today. For those of you who watch these workouts every day, please remember to click like down below. It would be greatly appreciated. You guys know that there's several guys who run a dislike bot year-round on my channel, and it looks really bad when I get thousands of views on a workout video when you guys watch it every day and only get 20 likes and then 200 dislikes. It just looks bad. So I would greatly appreciate it if you guys remember to reach down and click the like if you watch these. Thank you so much. Today was a tough lift. Man, this one was tough. Like, I thought I was going to be able to get a little more weight, but with 65 pound of band tension, especially me not using the football bar a lot, kind of getting used to it, especially with this closer grip, it was tough. And it was mainly the lockout. Like, I was surprised because yesterday I almost felt like chest was a weak link with that other football bar from a dead stop. This, it came right up, but that last bit on the lockouts each time was a little bit hard. And I only got to 265 plus the bands. Now, that is 330 at the top. And you guys can see those bands are pretty tight, so they kick in pretty quick. And for people who go against bands, they know that bands is nothing like chains. So sometimes your expectations, what you think you're going to get against a heavy band, can be way off. You'd be surprised how often your 1 rep max is what you end up hitting as your peak band tension, right, with raw weight. But it definitely slowed right there. And I felt tricep and delt. Like, I was almost today, if I felt chest again like I did on the last max effort press, I was going to do some weighted dips, like against bands. That's how I was going to do it, but instead I felt all delt and triceps. So I'm like, yep, let me go and knock out these close grip presses. Getting my 5x10 was a little challenging on these today. The first set was easy, right? Just 10 reps. I think, and I may have lost count, I'm not going to bother to count them. You guys can if you really want to. But the fifth set today, I think I only got 9. I might have only got 9. It's kind of tough, but you know, that's to be expected. When you hit a max, doing a bunch of pressing volume can be hard. But we've got to bring up these triceps. Obviously pecs too, but triceps, delts, all this stuff. The only way my bench is going to go up. I just got to keep growing, keep getting muscle in the right places. But what I'm doing, I've got a video. I'll have it up tomorrow. I've already filmed it, kind of explaining what I'm doing now with basically just running the max effort day of the conjugate over and over and over. And I don't know how long I'll do this. And if I quit, I will go right back to a normal conjugate template because I had pretty good success. But I feel like there's a lot of recomposition to be had. And again, I want to get the training volume, lots of 10s for the hypertrophy. I've got to get better body composition. I've got to get thicker. I've got to recomp more. And I feel like I need more practice hitting maxes, particularly on certain lifts, particularly on things like the deadlifts. And this is going to be the only way I can get more heavy pulling in. Now, how much supplemental deadlifting I do is going to remain to be seen. Because I have a feeling the extra volume of all the good mornings and everything else and the glute hammerings and stuff will probably sort most of that as long as I'm pulling heavy with enough variations. So we'll see how that goes. But the pressing, I feel like this is getting a lot of work in. Like, I'm getting just a tremendous amount of pump doing all this volume afterwards. Because this is a lot more volume for just upper body and bench muscles that I'm used to doing. And I feel like it's going to pay off, right? We know that volume does equal size. And we know that for me as an advanced lifter, the only way you get stronger is through hypertrophy for the most part. Yes, other stuff matters. I've just got to keep getting my benching muscles thicker. And all my pressing muscles. Doesn't mean just bench. In addition to kind of finding my groove on stuff. And I'm starting to find it. And since we know the closed grip press is going to be the way to go, I can kind of tell the difference as I'm just repping out all this closed grip stuff, especially going flat-footed now. I'm kind of finding my sweet spot on the bar pass. Because when it starts to get difficult, I have to drift in certain paths, and it'll sometimes get really heavy if I go in the wrong spot. There's a learning tool here. So the whole point here, though, is with all of this is that since I'm going to be close gripping, even for just my benching in general, it's going to be close or fairly close medium grip. We just got to get really good at the close grip press. And that means, obviously, close grip pressing is a hypertrophy exercise. All the various max effort lifts, I'm going to need to do a lot of strict pressing. A lot of strict pressing with a closed grip, irrespective of which of the bars I use. I'll rotate through them. And we can even mess with some chains or bands or whatever. But a lot of strict overhead pressing and a lot of triceps. My triceps have to be an absolute priority. They've got to be an absolute priority. That means a lot of tricep volume, which means picking exercises that do not cause tendonitis. But again, this felt good today. So this is going to end up being, gosh, where's this going to put me? 15 sets of closed grip press this week. 15 sets of 10 with 225 pretty much is what I nailed down today. We count Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Plus overhead, plus triceps. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling all that volume. And that's going to be how this is going to work. It's going to be maxing on random lifts, getting just good at maxing out. I've got to get good at maxing out again. And it's got to be random lifts, new lifts, different things. I've got to keep it fresh. Got to keep it fresh and exciting. And, we can max what we max on any given day. It's going to change a lot from day to day. I'd actually hoped that one was going to be stronger, but then my strength wasn't down because I did all this auxiliary pressing, all these assistance movements, and guess what? Everything was good. The work capacity was fine. I was surprised because I felt like I thought I'd get a heavier lift on that today, but you know what? Just the way it works. Now, I'm gripping real narrow. I'm actually trying to bring it in narrower. Some people pointed out the lockout. That is my lockout. And the closer I go, that's the issue. If I go wider, I can actually lock all the way at the top, just like with pull-ups. I can come all the way down if I go wide. But when I do anything narrow, my clavicle gets in the way and stuff. I just don't have the joint range of motion to actually push it any higher. And there's no amount of stretching that helps. Obviously, when I can hang 100 pounds of plates from a dead hang chin up, and my whole body weight, because I'm over 200 pounds, it can't pull me straight. There is no mobility to fix this. It's structural. It is structural. That's not a mobility issue. It's my actual bones in the way. And it's especially when I go narrow. But narrow gives me the most strength. It gives me the most power, especially out of the bottom. And that's what I have to do. I have to get powerful out of that bottom. That's what's going to give me pressing strength on all of my chest presses, of engaging those delts early like that and getting that power early on. The delts have to contribute to help with the chest moving any chest press. And this narrower grip forces me to work the triceps harder. And it gives me more pop. So it's just what I'm going to do. I managed to squeeze out a 4-set today. I did 3 last time. I'm like, I'm going to keep working this up. Now I had to do some rest pause. To get 10 on this last one. And they were tough, but I got there. We got them. Get back up to 5 sets of 10 even as a third exercise. Get back up to 5 sets of 10 with this. And then when we get there, we'll either, if we stall, we'll either try to micro load it or we'll swap bars back again. Then I decided to do some skull crushers. I'm not enamored with the JM press right now, right? It doesn't feel perfect. This felt good. Now, people are wondering why you have it sitting on the bench because I was getting some lower back pumps today. And it's because of the squatting yesterday. I'm not used to doing a normal back squat of any type. It fatigued my low back. So I'm going to have to do some extra stretches for it today. I did some earlier, right before this, and it helped tremendously. So and for me, those stretches are just really high rep, full stretched, good mornings with an empty barbell. That helped a lot. And I think that'll help me tomorrow because I've got to do a lower body max tomorrow. But, this was fairly light, but it taking them to like sets of about 15 to failure, this actually worked everything tremendously. And I'm using a very, very narrow grip. For those curious, I'm on that little narrowest part in the middle, right? Why? I'm trying to make sure I work that medial head of the tricep. I'm trying to work the entire tricep, right? All 3 heads get worked with this version. But I do want to make sure that medial head, which matters a lot to the bench, and mine's a little underdeveloped there. Well, more than a little. I need to make sure it gets worked. And by using the chains and going a little bit behind the head to get the long head involved, we get less risk of tendonitis on the elbows. Because skull crushers are phenomenal. They're great exercises. They build tendonitis. But by going down behind the head to get that stretch and unloading at the bottom with chains, and that's basically on each side, that main chain is 17.1 pounds on each side, plus the lead chain, which is 4.5. So we're looking at just over 21 pounds of chain on each side, so 42 pounds of chains. Now that's obviously not a heavy bar, that's a light bar, and I've only got 10 pounds of plates. So this is again a fairly lightweight. I'm going to mess with it a bit, I'll load it up heavier, but if I load it heavier I may put more chain, not more plate, right? We'll load the chains up. I'd rather get that extra tension up at the top. My triceps are having to lock harder. And unload a little bit of it at the bottom. Even more chain weight will still add some to the bottom, though. It'll add some to the bottom, as you guys notice. right? Because if you look, there's still some of the chain there, a little bit. And then, but it very quickly engages, and we're having to use all of it at the top where the tricep is at a mechanical advantage. You're going to really hit that area. Help with that lockout, but we are training in explosiveness. But 5 sets of this to failure, hell of a tricep pump. We know we worked all 3 heads. We definitely got some additional fatigue that will help hypertrophy my triceps, which need it. But the amount of pressing I did, my triceps are probably going to grow anyways. But we're doing this to ensure growth. We're making sure that we fully stimulate with pretty much the maximum volume that my triceps can handle in each of these workouts. All right, that has to be a priority. I've already said triceps and hamstrings are going to be ultra high priorities for me. They need to come up, my triceps particularly. But it doesn't mean we're neglecting pecs and delts. They're getting hit pretty hard too. Just we're prioritizing the triceps for now because I need them. And I feel like that's what we're doing this week. And this is a real good exercise in the repertoire. I'll keep working with it a bit. I like chains in general for triceps. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.